to collect their agricultural machinery, 7 trailers of it. Well, they contacted everyone about their plans, the Irish Embassy, ACOT, the Industrial Development Authority and Irish Continental Lines. So when they boarded the ship in Le Havre, they thought everything was in order. But when they arrived in Rosslare, they discovered they had sailed straight into the middle of a bureaucratic mess. This report from Michael Ryan.
It is on the 200-acre farm of the Ballybrado house and estate near Kerr, County Tipperary, that the young Germans had planned their new beginning. Here, 2 families and a bachelor friend set out to produce organically grown barley and wheat without the use of chemicals or artificial fertilizers for the health food market, which is now big business in Europe. They want to farm here because mainland Europe's acid rain is making organic farming, or indeed any farming, more and more difficult. For 6 months they talked and wrote to a host of agencies about their move to Ireland and to a new life. There was the German agent for the Irish Continental Lines, the Irish Embassy in Germany, ACOT and even the IDA. They claimed that several times they asked, is there anything else we have to do before we move? And they were assured there was no problem. So off they set. But when they arrived at Rosslare and began unloading their machinery, in stepped the Department of Agriculture and told them to take the lot back to Europe. They had no disinfection certificate, which is essential for the importation of used farm machinery. The department is right, of course, but the Germans ask why in 6 months of talking and planning with all the right agencies didn't somebody mention a disinfection certificate. So for 1.5 hours the ICL ferry was held up while a wrangle went on. The department insisted that the 5 machinery trailers go back on the ship and back to France. ICL says it booked space for them and couldn't wait any longer, so it sailed with 2 of the Germans' trailers, which were not at the time unloaded. So ICL now says they won't bring them back until they get £4,500 to pay for the delay and the lost space. The Germans say they haven't got £4,500. They've done nothing wrong, and can they please have their property back? Later, the department relented and let the Germans disinfect the trailers which had been unloaded on the quayside. But the 2 trailers now back in Le Havre contain parts which are needed to make the machinery on the other 5 trailers in Ireland workable. Their seed corn is also on them, and if they don't get it soon and get it sown within a few weeks, they'll just go broke. It's a perfect bureaucratic foul-up. ICL says it's not to blame. It's up to the client to get his own paperwork right. The department's not to blame. Our agriculture is too important to risk bringing in disease. Used machinery must have a disinfection certificate. It's been that way for 40 years, and that's the way it will stay, according to the department. And the Embassy, ACOT and IDA, who might have told the Germans about the necessary certificate, said nothing. Whoever's to blame, it's hardly the Germans, for they're the ones going down the drain. The Irish romantic dream has become a nightmare.
Now, this situation never could happen in Germany, because in Germany it's not possible that I go to your property and I keep your property when I will get some money from you. If I will get this money from you, I have to go to court. But it's not possible to get your property. For instance, I cannot take your car and say, now you will get back your car if you pay the bill. It's not possible. And I think it seems to me like some kind of Wild West law, yes. But at the moment, we don't have the money to give £4,500 to ICL, and the main problem for us is now that we have to get the cereals into the soil within the next 4 weeks, and if this will not happen, we will earn no money in the next year, and this will cut our future in Ireland here in Ballybrado.
So your dream of a new life in Ireland is becoming a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, that's right.